Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivating.
Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's blazing comet, has dropped a revelation that's shaken the entire basketball world. In a breathtaking twist, her last words before officially walking away from the league have set off a storm of shock and endless speculation. Once the sport's brightest trailblazer.
Well, Caitlin Clark, one thing she got is handles. Finds her way to the rim.
Caitlin Clark, if she's known for anything, it's those handles, gliding to the rim with ease. Her puzzling statement has fans buzzing and critics scrambling to make sense of it. What pushed her toward this earth-shattering decision? Why does her goodbye feel like it changes everything? Step into the electrifying story as we unravel her shocking departure and the explosive aftermath rewriting WNBA history. Clark's mysterious words triggered shockwaves, and it didn't unfold at some grand press conference. It wasn't shared in a polished message on social media. Instead, it slipped out in one casual, almost throwaway line, so ordinary on the surface, yet carrying a gravity that shook the basketball universe. I'll be going to every road game, no matter what, whether I'm playing or not. To someone overhearing, it might have sounded like pure dedication, the loyal promise of a young rookie backing her team. But for those who had tracked her historic first season, that line was electric. It was loaded with unspoken meaning, questions, possibilities, tension. Was she pointing to an injury, hinting at a limited role on the court? Or was this the very first public clue of something larger? Something unsettling happening behind the curtain? Within hours, whispers became discussions. By nightfall, rumors were everywhere. Caitlin Clark, the rookie who had taken the league by storm, might be leaving, perhaps forever. The reaction was immediate. Fans flooded timelines with disbelief. Sports talk shows erupted with fiery debates. And the basketball world held its collective breath. And mainstream outlets, usually detached from league chatter, jumped on the story. Headlines lit up across broadcasts, websites, and social feeds. This wasn't just another rookie. This was the player who rewrote the league's storyline in a single year. She shattered attendance numbers, lifted television viewership to record-breaking levels, and flipped the cultural spotlight onto the WNBA almost overnight. And if she truly walked away, the fallout would be enormous. The tremors wouldn't just shake the Indiana Fever, her franchise. They'd ripple into every roster, every network deal, every corporate sponsor, every corner of the league's rising profile. One superstar leaving could undo decades of progress. And what made it even more unsettling was the mystery hidden in her words. No one knew the reason. Was it turmoil inside the locker room? The overwhelming weight of critics, cameras, and fans? Or something far deeper, something personal that only Clark carried in silence? Her offhand remarks, so harmless at first, had cracked open Pandora's box. It signaled uncertainty. It's marked a turning point where a young phenom might face a choice that would alter her career, her legacy, and the league she had only just begun to transform. In basketball, highlights are measured in dunks, buzzer beaters, and clutch shots. But sometimes, the most stunning moments aren't on the scoreboard. They hide in cryptic words, in quiet whispers, in small clues that hint a massive shift is near. Caitlin Clark now stands at a critical crossroads, and her next decision could reshape her legacy and the WNBA's destiny forever. Who is the woman beyond the records, and how did she ignite a revolution in women's basketball? Let's dig deeper. The meteoric rise of number 22. When Caitlin Clark first touched a WNBA court in 2024, the league expected talent. But no one imagined the earthquake she was about to create. At just 23, wearing the now iconic number 22, Clark wasn't simply a rookie with potential. She was a storm of energy, ready to change the league on day one. Her arrival didn't whisper, it thundered. Her rookie stats? Nothing short of jaw-dropping. 19.2 points per game, breaking down defenses with veteran-like composure. 8.4 assists per game, precision passes that belonged in highlight reels. High .7 rebounds per game, game, proving she was more than a scorer, but a relentless presence everywhere. Each number told the same story. Caitlin Clark was extraordinary, but stats alone couldn't measure her true effect. She didn't just contribute, she transformed. Her came a new Indiana fever. A team once locked in mediocrity was suddenly alive again. After 7 long years without playoffs, the franchise surged back to contention in 2024. Clark's fire, her skill, her leadership became the pulse of a team desperate for revival. She sparked a movement that stretched far beyond the arena floor. And off the court, her influence exploded even louder. Ticket sales didn't just climb, they skyrocketed, soaring by 400%. Arenas filled to the brim night after night. TV ratings broke through the million mark each game, and on the biggest nights, over 2 million tuned in. The WNBA, once seen as niche, was suddenly a mainstream spectacle. Casual fans, stars, corporations, all watching, all invested. Clark didn't just raise her team, she lifted the entire league. Sponsorship deals poured in. Not the small-scale partnerships of old, but major headline-grabbing contracts that marked her as a cultural icon. In just one season, she achieved what campaigns had struggled to deliver for decades. She made the WNBA impossible to overlook. Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign wasn't only success, it was a declaration. Proof that one athlete could flip a franchise, ignite a league, and capture the soul of a nation. From every highlight shot to every dazzling assist, she etched herself into basketball's history books. 24 wasn't just her debut, it was the year the league itself was reborn. Caitlin Clark didn't just play, she redefined the game, but behind the roar of full arenas and headlines praising her rise, a quieter reality was forming. The WNBA wasn't built to hold a talent of her size. Its structure, its finances, its contracts, crafted for gradual growth, not sudden upheaval, created a massive mismatch between what Clark poured in and what the league could give back. For Caitlin Clark, this was bigger than just the present moment. It was about her future, about her lasting imprint, about the league she had already reshaped. Few players ever hold such rare leverage, where one decision sends waves through sports, culture, and business alike. Her next step wouldn't only decide her own journey, it could reshape the Indiana's fever, shift the WNBA's trajectory, and announce to the world that women's sports had entered a new era. Every eye was locked on her, waiting, watching. What choice would she make? Message would she send? At the center of this imbalance was money, or more precisely, the absence of it. The WNBA's maximum salary cap hovers near $250,000, a number that may seem strong within the league's framework, yet it was only a fraction of the fortune Clark was generating through sold-out tickets, booming merchandise, and the viral storm she created every time she stepped on the floor. Her presence wasn't just energizing crowds, it was fueling revenue in ways few athletes in history have ever achieved. She turned arenas into spectacles and social media into a constant highlight machine. But the league's pay scale wasn't designed to contain a player capable of shifting its financial foundation overnight. And then came her rookie deal, making the picture even more complex. With team options and clauses tied to restricted free agency, Clark was bound tightly to the Indiana Fever, a framework that ensured balance for small market franchises, but chained her to a system that throttled her freedom. While those guardrails were meant to keep parity across the league, they ended up restricting the very star who was redefining it. Caitlin Clark was being asked to perform at the absolute peak of women's basketball, yet for pay that didn't even begin to match. Her seismic influence, it was a paradox, one that exposed the very limits of the league itself. How would history remember the woman who turned basketball into not just a game, but a movement? The question lingered in the air. Would she stay and keep fighting, or step beyond the barriers she had already shattered? Either way, the world was watching, and her decision promised to change everything. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's final words before leaving the WNBA? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.